Just cut it out, huh? So Tom Gordon is from Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. And he was elected to serve 2-year terms, so this is his second year, so he is well seasoned. And he is a retired educator and owner of a human resources training company. So do not let him get out of here without tapping into some of that resources that he has, particularly presidents. He's a member of the Newmarket North Lions Club since 1982. And he's held many of the positions that you all just were elected to. He is, in addition, he has been chairperson of the multiple district GLT. He is he has presented seminars all over, training and seminars all over the local, multiple, and international conventions. Lion CC Liz Crook, you probably have met him at some of the trainings that you have done. He is a Lions Quest trainer. We had Quest in our district back in 2013. He was here in 92 to do one, so that's good. If you don't know what Quest is, ask him. He is a trainer of trainers, and he's presented the Lions Quest across Canada and USA since 1988. He's a member of the faculty of the USA Canada Lions Leadership Forum, and Lion Liz and myself. Who else from our district has attended? And also outside of our district. Derek, thank you. In recognition of his service, he's had all kinds of awards, and I'm not going to go into all of those, but he is a progressive Melvin Jones, of which we are very proud to have one of the highest awards from our district regarding the amount of collections for the Melvin Jones. In addition, yeah, go ahead. Let's hear a nice song. In addition to Lions activities, Director Gordon has been involved in numerous professional and community organizations. He served on the board of directors for the York Region Addiction Services, Habitat for Humanity, and Lions Quest, of course. Director Gordon and his wife Gillian, who is also a Lion. They have 2 daughters, 1 son, 2 nieces, 3 grandchildren, and 4 grandnieces. Give him a very warm welcome from our district.
When somebody asks you to write a bio that's going to go in a directory, make it short. Otherwise, people think they have to read the whole thing when they go through it. So,
I didn't read the whole thing.
I know, that was short. So see what happens when you do those things. Well, I have the pleasure, Governor Thelma, will you come and join me? I have the pleasure of inducting your governor. I like doing this. I'll install you correctly. Okay, for the first part though, I'm going to read this because I found out being on the board now that every time we have a board meeting, our constitution changes. Every time you make a resolution, you have a change in the constitution. So I'm going to read the first part so I don't mess that up. Okay, here it says, under the general supervision of the International Board of Directors, she shall represent the association in her district. In addition, she shall be the chief administrative officer in her district and shall have direct supervision over the first and second vice district governor, region chairpersons, the zone chairpersons, the cabinet secretary and treasurer, and such other cabinet members as may be provided for in this district constitution and bylaws. Now notice in nowhere does this say that you are the queen. You are not omnipotent. And so the first thing I would say for you to do is to use your listening skills. Seek to understand first if you're a Stephen Covey family. You want to do those kinds of things. And then there's 12 very specific things that you're supposed to do. But basically, if you lump them together, one of the things is to further the purposes of the association. Okay, and if you further all those purposes, then you're doing your job. The second thing is to do that job while keeping in mind the code of ethics. So how we behave, because you are a model, and you don't get to choose. Derek will tell you, we talked about this before, that because you're in the position, you're a model. So whatever you do that's positive, that's what people model. And whatever you do that's negative, that's what people model. So you have to keep that in mind all the time, not to add any pressure to the job. Newly formed Global Action Team means that there are some different relationships there as well. And so you're now the chairperson of that subcommittee of your cabinet. So you have to keep those folks in mind. Together, we should make some plans for growth, for leadership, and to make sure that we're doing some unique and innovative types of services in your communities. Okay, all of that being said, are you willing to do that part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we got some more. That's cool. So the other thing that happens when you're district governor, and all the past district governors in the room will tell you that if they had to go back and do it again, what they would do is make sure that their lines of communication were stronger. So you have to communicate to the person in the club members, and sometimes they don't get them. It gets stuck in the middle of our organization somehow. It does not get from the governor to the club member. So that's the difficult part to do. So to ensure that happens, in our Constitution, we have always had this part about governors visiting the clubs, or at least one of the presiding officers to visit the clubs every year and find out what they're doing. Now lately, because of technology, and thank you past District Governor Bob for mentioning that we have to keep up to date with that stuff, you can check up on these clubs. And it's fun to go to the club and say, I noticed you haven't done any service in the environmental area yet. You know, and then you can suggest something, and you'll sound really smart because the week before you were at another club, and they had a great environmental project, you can say, you could do this. That's the great thing about doing the visits. You get really smart. It's not all your ideas, it's somebody else's ideas. So with all that in mind, are you still willing to do this job?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now there are some people in the room who are your mentors. Do you know who they are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Past council chair of this group, all the PDGs, all the members are also mentors.
She got the answers right. So everybody in this room being mentors, what's your job?
Support.
Support and mentoring. Support and mentoring. That's your job to do. So I'm going to ask you, are you willing to support your governor in that job? Yes. Okay. Then with the power installed upon me, I don't know where we got that phrase, but with the power given to me in Chicago in our centennial year.
Right.
That sounds so good, I'm going to keep that. The power installed in me. I don't know, and I know these people so well. Anyway, they gave me this power to say that you are now the district governor of this wonderful district in California. Congratulations. Yeah, we do this differently in Canada. We just go. It's a hockey. I always try to stick that. Medium. Now we have our pin on there, we know we're fully installed. However, there's one thing missing from the accessories in this outfit. my personal banner, and you'll notice my motto is on there. My motto is, yes, we can. The operative word being, we. You can't do it all yourself. It has to be a we. So congratulations, and you guys are going to have a great year. I can tell. We spent the day together yesterday. Lots of energy coming out of here. So
Just relax for a little. No, just stay there. Stay there.